You know the feeling. You open up a spreadsheet and there it is, the data beast. It's massive, it's messy, and it's staring right back at you. Well, today, we're going to learn how to tame it. We're going to use two of the most powerful, yet surprisingly simple tools in your data toolkit, sorting and filtering.
I mean, let's be real for a second. Have you ever opened a file and just felt your brain shut down? All you see are rows and columns stretching into what feels like infinity. Yeah, you're not alone. It's that classic feeling of just drowning in information.
And this is the exact problem a university student named Marina was up against. For her big research project on global nutrition, she had this, a gigantic table with thousands and thousands of entries. Different countries, different years, just pure data chaos. How on earth was she supposed to find the real story hidden inside all of that noise?
Well, her first step was to bring a little bit of logic to the madness. And that brings us to part one, creating order with sorting.
Okay, before we can sort anything, we got to know what the program even sees as a list. It's actually super simple. In a spreadsheet, a list is just any block of data that doesn't have any completely empty rows or columns cutting through it. And here's the cool part. You just have to click on a single cell inside that block, and the program is smart enough to go, aha, I get it. You want to work with this whole chunk of data. No need to manually select everything. It's a neat little time saver.
So, sorting itself, it's beautifully simple. It really just comes in two main flavors. You've got ascending, which is your classic A to Z or smallest number to largest. And then you've got descending, which is just the opposite, Z to A or largest number down to the smallest. It is the most basic, fundamental way to start organizing your information.
But what happens when sorting by just one thing isn't enough? I mean, take a look at this employee list. It's a total jumble. We don't just want it sorted by last name. What we really want is to sort it by job position first, and then have it alphabetized by last name inside each of those positions.
And that is where the custom sort comes in. This is a total game changer. You just tell your spreadsheet, hey, first sort everything by the position column. Then you click Add a new level and say, and after you do that, sort what's left by last name. And the result? It's this beautifully organized list with these neat alphabetical sublistings. All your managers are together, alphabetized. All your sales reps are together, alphabetized. It's so much cleaner.
Sorting is fantastic for putting everything in order, but what if you don't want to see everything? What if you just want to focus on a tiny piece of your data? Well, that brings us to part two, finding focus with filtering. This is where we stop just organizing our data and start really isolating what we need.
So what exactly is filtering? You know, the best way to think about it is like a sieve for your data. You decide what you're looking for, you pour all your data through it, and it just temporarily hides every single row that doesn't match your criteria. Now, the key word there is temporarily. Your data is still there, it's totally safe, it's just out of sight. You're not deleting anything, you're just focusing. Okay, so here we've got a big table of members. Let's say we have a simple question. How can we quickly see only our gold level members? I mean, scrolling through all of this, looking for them one by one, that would take forever.
And with just one click, bam, there they are. Now, what's really cool here are the visual clues that tell you a filter is active. See that little funnel icon on the type column header? That's your first hint. And now look at the row numbers over on the left. See how they're blue and they jump from 1 to 5 to 8? That's the program telling you that rows 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 are still there. They're just hidden.
And the power of filtering goes way, way beyond just a simple checkbox. You can create compound filters, right? Like finding all the theater members who also live in a specific suburb. You can use custom text filters to find last names that begin with the letter W, or number filters to find everyone whose balance is less than $100. You can even use something called wildcards, like S**N, to find every name that starts with an S and ends with an N. The level of control you have is just incredible.
But what happens when even those awesome custom filters aren't quite enough for our most complex questions? For that, we need a real power move. So let's look at part 3, advanced queries.
The key that unlocks all this power is something called a criteria range. Now, it sounds a little technical, but it's not. All it means is you set up a separate little area on your worksheet where you physically type out the rules for your filter. This gives you way more control. For example, you could filter for sales reps in London or managers in Paris, a complex either-or question that a simple filter just can't handle. You can even use formulas as your criteria. And once you've set up that criteria range, you get two great options. You can filter the list in place, which works just like a regular filter, hiding all the rows that don't match.
Or, and this one is super useful, you can copy to another location. And what that does is it pulls out a brand new, clean list of only the matching data for you to work with separately.
So let's bring this all back home. Let's go back to our student, Marina, and her mountain of data. This brings us to part 4, the payoff. From raw data to real insight. How did these tools actually solve her problem?
Well, instead of being totally overwhelmed, she just used a custom filter. She told her spreadsheet, hey, just show me the rows where the country is Brazil, Cambodia, or Ethiopia, and where the year is between 1993 and 2013. And just like that, in seconds, thousands of irrelevant rows just vanished, and it left her with this, a perfectly clean, totally focused dataset.
And with that clean data, she could instantly start finding the answers she was looking for. The first thing she did was create this bar chart. It's a simple snapshot showing the food supply for her 3 countries of interest, right at the beginning in 1993. The story is already starting to take shape right out of the numbers.
And this is where the power of her work really shines. By creating a second chart for her end year 2013, she could immediately see the change over 2 decades. The raw data was just a boring list of numbers. This is a story. She literally turned chaos into clarity, and now she could present her findings with total confidence.
So, just remember, sorting and filtering aren't just technical functions on a computer. They are tools for discovery. They let you have a conversation with your data to ask it questions and get clear answers back. So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. Your data is asking questions. Are you ready to find the answers?